I wanted to get into Bama starting QB.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't watched the guy at all. Okay. But I know there was a competition, right? And didn't
Yep.
they just announce that he was going to be the quarterback? Okay. So does that mean that he's going to be on a short leash? If Alabama struggles early offensively, is the fan base, are the other coaches going to be looking at, to put him in or what? You
No,
know,
I think when you go with the young guy, I mean, he's a redshirt freshman. He was one of the top 3 quarterback recruits in the country. I think if you were gonna do a short leash, you would have gone with the veteran quarterback, Austin Mack, who transferred from Washington to follow Kalen DeBoer. He was the next man up at Washington. Um, I mean, he's like 6'6", 240, something I mean, he's a linebacker playing quarterback. And all indications were like in the practices, they looked pretty even. And then when it came to scrimmage time, Keelon Russell's athleticism, and just kind of his arm strength. He's one of those guys that the ball just comes out differently from his hand. He kind of separated himself in the couple of scrimmages that we had. That's the guy I wanted. I was hoping Keelon Russell would get it. I was concerned if Austin Mack got it. Not a production standpoint, but that we might lose Keelon to the transfer portal next year. Um, and I think solidifying him now as the quarterback, you know, being Joe Schmo on the couch, like I feel like that was the move. And I saw a CBS ranking where he's jumped up in the like SEC quarterback rankings all of a sudden just because he's named the starting quarterback. Maybe it's the Bama bump, but he's supposed to be the next big one. He's got like a Bryce Young type arm, um, and athleticism to go with it. So we'll see.
does he need to be
I like.
the dude, or does he just need to control the game? Like, what's around him? You know what I mean? Like, running game. I know Ryan Williams is
So
back again, and he's changed his last name, I guess, or something.
yeah,
Maybe
Ryan
not.
Ryan Coleman Williams. He's
Yeah.
refocused.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
he,
Right.
he's he's back on track. All right. So my gut says the running game can't be any worse. We've already got a running back that's banged up and out for a while. We've got a 5-star stud freshman that I will probably be the number 2 guy. But it's a retooled offensive line. We're moving guys. I think we just this week I heard solidified who our starting 5 on the offensive line are going to be. So, we'll see. I think that could be part of why Keelan was named the starting quarterback is that he's more mobile. And if the offensive line struggles early, he can get out of some trouble. But he's got weapons. He's got Ryan Coleman Williams. Lazi Brooks was the freshman I was talking about.
Yep.
Last year
Yep.
he's a year older, and I know we've got another segment we're going to talk about with some sleepers. So I may hold off on naming somebody else,
Okay.
but
All right. So
um, I think
he's not a game manager. He needs to be a dude for them to
no,
be
he's got to be a
successful. He
player.
does have
No, he's
yes.
got to.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got to make plays. He's got to make
Okay.
plays. We're not
Okay.
we're not handing it off and throwing screen passes with him. He's going to stretch the field. He's going to make plays with his legs. Um, you know, and yeah, we need him to be the dude. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. And I mean, he starts kind of good with, East Carolina, get his feet wet at home. And then, he's got to go to Kentucky, which can be a crazy place to play. Right.
And to be honest, I love that, right? Like a mid-tier SEC game on the
Hmm.
road, like better than going to Georgia in week
Yeah.
2 and
Yeah.
having to figure that out. So
Yep.
I think that's great. Get a good taste of it at home and then a little bit of a challenge on the road. And then you have Florida State come to town, which like who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, Norvell could be 10-2. We don't know.
Yeah. I doubt it, but
But
yes, he could be. He's been there
yeah.
before.
But I think it sets up well for him to get comfortable before we get into that stretch,
Yeah.
in October.
And FSU has a new quarterback as well, and Ashton Daniels from
Yep.
Auburn, who you're probably very familiar with, because he gave Bama all they could handle last year,
Yeah.
and Vanderbilt, but especially Bama. Um, Not sure his numbers, but I think he put up crazy numbers against Bama,
Well,
all-purpose yards, rushing and
I had it
passing.
I had it pulled up earlier.
But I think he's actually I think he's very underrated. Um, I know he has a lot of interceptions but I've watched some of his, like, Stanford tape. I watched a couple of the games at Auburn, um, and, he moves I think he moves better than Castellanos from last year. He's not as
Yeah.
quick and as explosive, but he moves enough. Like, he can move and roll the pocket. He can pick up the first down, 7 yards, stuff like that. But I like him because he keeps his eyes downfield. Like, when Tommy tucked the
Mhm.
ball last year, he was gone. Like,
Yep.
and plus, even when he dropped back, he couldn't read defenses. So, like, he was absolutely horrible, but I think that I actually like him. I know we brought in a couple guys before him to kinda, see who we wanted to go with, but I like the pick. I think he fits Norvell's offense, with all the, you know, pulling tackles and, all that zone read. I think he's gonna be good,
Yeah.
but he can still hit the
Is
deep
Nor
ball with Deuce Robinson and, stuff like that, so
is Norvell, is he calling the plays this year? Okay. So it's all or nothing.
hey, gotta put it in your own hands
Yeah.
if you're gonna stick
I
around.
yeah, I respect it. So I pulled up his stats. Let's say I had it pulled up earlier. So passing, we'll go with Alabama because that, just makes sense. He was 18 of 39. So, the completion percentage wasn't great, but he
Right.
threw for 260 yards and then ran 23 times for 108 yards. So he
That's like
counted for,
man,
370 yards against Alabama. So,
how many
he
touchdowns and
does,
picks?
he had one passing touchdown, one interception, and he didn't have any rushing touchdowns in that game. So he was,
Oh,
one
so
and
not
one.
great, but, I know that when I watched the game, and, just watched his plays, he made some good plays.
Yeah.
And I know he had a good game against Vanderbilt too.
Yep. So
Um,
Vanderbilt, 31 of 44, 353, two touchdowns, no interceptions. So we did rushing 18 carries, 89 yards, and two more touchdowns. So
yeah,
I
and if
mean,
you watch
that's
that
the guy
game
you want to see.
yeah, if you watch that game, they brought a bunch of touchdowns back on some bullspit holding penalties too. I mean,
Yeah.
they were bad. Where they called a holding penalty and it wasn't even close. So no, I think he's a dude. I think he's going to be a good fit for Norvell's offense. As long as he can read downfield, hit the medium throws, or put some good deep balls like Deuce and Makai Danzy, who's got all the speed in the world. I think we'll be fine with him. He's the best we got, so we got to roll with him. So
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Been there. But it's also nice to know that Norvell kind of has a track record with these portal quarterbacks, right? Like Castellanos, if he had stayed healthy, the way he looked against Alabama, you would have said, man, he's going to be in New York at the end of the season. And he got banged up, because they probably he ran too much. But if I'm a Florida State fan, like I feel okay with Norvell going into the portal and getting a quarterback. I think that's his MO. Um, and a guy with SEC experience who, I mean, he's got some decent numbers. Um, where was he before Auburn? It was like Stanford,
yeah, he was at
right?
Stanford. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had that
I mean,
really good receiver, they had a stud receiver that went to the NFL, and I think he was the one that brought them back 31 I think it was like 31 nothing against Colorado when they
okay.
were down and they
Yeah.
came back and beat
Yeah.
Dion.
That's
I
funny.
think he was the quarterback.
I was in Tuscaloosa for that game. We were watching it. Yeah, what game? I don't even know what game that was, but yeah, we sat there and watched that game at like midnight, the entire comeback. But 2023, he threw for 2,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, eight interceptions, ran for 300 more. Uh, to me, the biggest red flag is his completion percentage. He's been 58%, 62%, 57%. But his ability to rush the ball, I think changes that, right?
Yeah, he's gotta stay healthy. I mean, we have
Yeah,
like a transfer junior college transfer quarterback behind him and Kevin Sperry, who's, everyone's been saying it's good every year, but he's never really seen the field in any meaningful time. So he's got to stay healthy. But that's any quarterback. You know what I mean?
sure.
I know you have Austin Mack or whoever as your backup, but like most of these teams, if they get their starting quarterback, it's not going to be a good situation.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.